Hi, I'm Jer. Welcome to Kill-Divill, where we focus on rum and cocktails. Today we are going to make a Cuban Old Fashioned. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. In either case, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy what I'm doing here. As always, timestamps are down below if you want to cut to a recipe. Otherwise, here's some history. Legend has it that the old-fashioned cocktail was created by Martin Cuneo at the Pendennis Club in Louisville, Kentucky. Martin Cuneo was the bartender there starting in 1912 or 1913. History is a little bit fuzzy. And the Pendennis Club, opened in 1881. However, the first reference to an old-fashioned cocktail was from the Chicago Tribune in 1880. So that's 1 year before the Pendennis even opened up. So I don't think it was really created there. So who created the old-fashioned cocktail? We don't really know. The name old-fashioned comes from a reaction to all the fancier cocktails that were coming out at the time. A lot of interesting flavors and ingredients, and somebody somewhere got a little bit tired of it all and said, just make me an old-fashioned cocktail. Back then, the old-fashioned was more of a process than it was a cocktail itself. The same major ingredients were mixed with different spirits to create an old-fashioned gin cocktail, an old-fashioned whiskey cocktail, either rye or bourbon, or an old-fashioned brandy cocktail. Rum was still floating around at the time, so chances are somebody made a rum old-fashioned. And that's what a Cuban old-fashioned is, a rum old-fashioned. Who made the first Cuban old-fashioned? Nobody really knows. A note on the rum. When making a Cuban old-fashioned, chances are you're going to want to use a high-quality spirit because this cocktail is almost entirely rum. So if you're drinking bottom shelf white rum and putting this in a Cuban old-fashioned, chances are you're going to have a bad time. In my case, I'm going to be using Copperwing's barreled rum. Copperwing is a local distillery. I like using local products whenever I can, and this rum is really good. It's also limited edition, so go out and get it if you can. If you want to get something close and you don't have access to this, then try a smokier or an oakier rum. Also note that rums are known to be very sweet, and that's mostly because of post-distillation additives. So if you end up with a sweet rum, maybe cut back a little bit on the sugar in this recipe. The first thing I'm going to do to make a Cuban Old Fashioned is to add my sugar. I'm going to put in half a teaspoon of white sugar. I usually use raw cane sugar, but I don't have any right now, so it's going to be white. Half teaspoon. Then I'm going to add 2 dashes of bitters, and in this case I'm using Angostura. It's very traditional bitters to use. So 2 dashes, right there on top of the sugar, and we are building this in the glass in case you didn't notice. Next, water. I'm going to put in 1 full teaspoon of water. I only have it in this fancy bottle because it's easier to film the video like this. Now, I'm going to stir this till the sugar dissolves. And purists will say you have to make an old-fashioned like this, and a Cuban old-fashioned to boot. But if you mix water and sugar together and stir it until the sugar dissolves, what do you have? A simple syrup. So if you'd rather use a simple syrup, you may have to adjust your proportions, but to me that's perfectly fine. Don't forget the bitters though. This may take a moment. We'll see in a moment. Okay, sugar's dissolved, so I'm going to add my ice. 1 or 2 cubes will be enough. In this case, I'm going to put in 2. Next, the rum. 2 ounces of rum. 2 ounces is 60 milliliters, just for the record. Oh, almost out. I'm going to have to get some more. Finally, well, not finally, I'm going to give it a quick stir. That may be enough. Now finally, I'm going to add the garnish. Traditional old-fashioned garnish is going to be a peel of lemon. However, this is a Cuban, so I'm going to use a peel of lime. See if I can do this with any skill. And it doesn't have to be big. As I say, because mine's very small. Size doesn't matter. I'm going to give that a squeeze to express the oils, wrap it around the edge, and then drop it in. And then we have a Cuban Old Fashioned. Drink with good spirits.